All right, how is everyone doing? I am Rich Celenza. Thanks for checking out my channel. So what I want to do a video on today is don't get obsessed with just doing cardio. And I think a lot of people, we go through certain things in our life where when it comes to working out, we kind of gravitate towards one thing or another when it comes to fitness. It seems like a lot of people, for the most part, if you like cardio, you know what I mean? When you join a gym or you're doing anything, you really seem to love that. You love getting in great shape. You love the way you look, a lot of times the way you feel, right? And on the flip side, a lot of times I think a lot of people that like to get into fitness like to get bigger, stronger, maybe bodybuilding, or just doing something more on the side of, it could be boxing, it could be jujitsu, it could be many different things, right? But what I realized over the years, for me more than anything, is having a balance between both. Because I've been in situations where I was obsessed with cardio, especially when I was younger, because I was playing so many different types of sports. And even though I would weightlift, I weightlifted in gyms or at home, most of my effort was put towards cardio. And I just loved the way I looked. I loved the endurance I had. But the one thing I did realize as time went on, I was fatigued a lot, right? I was exhausted and I didn't know why a lot of times. Also, I was trying to build up muscle mass, but I was doing too much cardio, I realized later in life. And I don't think a lot of people realize this. And then let's take my early 20s, and since I've kind of been working out with weights, for the most part heavy. And I started to gain weight. And then, truthfully, I started to lose a lot of my cardio when I was working out. I gained a lot of strength, right? But my cardio was just, downhill from there. And the one thing I had to figure out was, where's the balance here? When I went on to go do my weight training, I may have had a lot of strength, but I was running out of cardio. I just had nothing in the tank after a certain amount of sets or reps. So again, I had to figure out a balance. If you're middle-aged especially, I'm gonna tell you something. You may love going to the gym and doing things cardio-related, which is great, and you wanna stay in shape. I would definitely recommend start doing something regarding building up some muscle. Don't just do cardio. Again, I've tried this even in my 40s and 50s. Well, I'm 50 now, but I've been experimenting with a lot of different things because I love to swim, I like to do elliptical, I used to love to ride bikes. I do all these different types of things cardio-wise when I was in California, and I kind of backed off the weights. I just wanted to see how I would feel, and I felt great, but again, I felt weak. I did not feel as strong as I used to feel. On the flip side, then again, I started to go back to weight training, and I was doing a lot of weights again. And the one thing I realized, even in my 40s, was I like building strength, but I quickly lost my cardio. So again, these are all things I think people really have to figure out, because each person, I always talk about it, is totally individual. I don't know what's gonna work for you, but I am going to tell you, really pay attention, because I think for the most part, especially in your 30s, 40s, it could be 50s, people really still are caught up doing a lot of cardio or too much cardio, where instead of helping them, it starts to hurt them. I know that sounds crazy, because I think when a lot of people think of fitness, they think, oh my God, more cardio, the better I'm gonna feel, the more I'm gonna get out of it, it's better for my heart and all these different types of things. I don't think they realize a lot of times one of the reasons they're running out of energy is throughout the day, not even in the gym, is because they're doing too much cardio. So that is one thing I definitely would recommend paying attention to, okay? And again, on the other side, if you are weightlifting in your 40s, 50s, or whatever age, you know what I mean? If you are finding yourself getting fatigued, and it's not just because you're putting more and more weight on, it's because you just, you know what I mean? You just don't have the cardio and you can't breathe correctly, or you don't feel good after each set. You have to realize that you should start doing something cardio related. I like to come in and warm up on the bike 5 to 10 minutes. I usually like to do weight training, and then I usually like to swim afterwards. So that's my cardio. But I'm telling you right now, a lot of times, even when I come in, say on my off days and do cardio and swim, I can feel the fatigueness. And I don't think people realize that maybe it is time to slip into being, I guess you could say, lifting more weights or building up that muscle mass. Because again, at LA Fitness, let's just take for instance, a lot of guys, some of my friends, they come in and they love playing racquetball, handball, basketball, I get it, volleyball. It's all great stuff. Building up the cardio, coordination, all that's wonderful. Again, what do you feel like after those type of workouts? Okay, are you exhausted? right? Do you really feel that good? And I know it's a blast to play that, but also maybe instead of just playing racquetball 4 or 5 times a week, maybe play 3 times a week, hit the gym, the weights a couple times a week. Get that balance where you're getting the best of both worlds. You need, as you get older, to build some strength, okay? I'm telling you right now, I don't care what age you are. You want to have some muscle mass. You want to be strong. Don't put yourself in a position where it's all cardio, you're burning off so many calories. And it's not a dig on anybody who, again, is obsessed with cardio, a runner. I don't care if you're a cyclist. I don't care, a marathon runner, I'm not digging on any of those. God bless you, find whatever you want to find. But I think for the most part, a lot of times the average Joe does not really understand really a balance on how to, have a decent cardio and have some strength and power, and at the same time not exhaust themselves. But I see a lot of people that do both cardio and weight training. One seems to suffer always. It kind of is usually what's second, not first. So if you're the type of person who likes to come in, I'm going to do a Stairmaster, I'm going to do, elliptical or whatever, a half an hour or whatever the case may be, then I'm going to go weight train. That's usually suffering. That's what I've seen over the years. Same with a lot of guys that come in and say, I want to, play racquetball, and then I'm going to lift weights. A lot of times they may work out, racquetball, half an hour, before you know it, when they go to weight train, either they're too tired or they have to leave or they'll come up with excuses to kind of dog it. I also noticed a lot of times people, they want to do cardio and they want to do some weight training, for instance. They just don't have the time. And they're afraid to give up their cardio because a lot of times when they first joined the gym or whatever the case may be, the cardio is what keeps the weight off, right? Makes them look a certain way, makes them feel a certain way. So I understand that completely. So like a lot of people that go to the gym, let's face it, on an average, maybe 3 to 4 times a week, right? And most that love cardio are going to do cardio. Maybe in between there or even on the weekends, do some type of strength training. Just try to fit it in. Even if you're at the gym, let's say, for instance, and you do an hour to an hour and a half of cardio, maybe try, shortening that a little and maybe just throwing in 15, 20 minutes of weight training. Again, just to get a little more strength. All right, and what I also want to bring up is a lot of times I believe that people quit working out because they take on too much at the beginning, especially when it comes to a gym. They join a gym, they start doing way too much cardio at the beginning. They're exhausted again, they're fatigued, they're drained, they're not inspired. And I think this happens a lot because either it could be a friend, a family member, a colleague, or even a trainer, maybe even YouTube videos or Instagram. You're seeing all these people do all these things. And a lot of times you think it's gonna happen a lot quicker than it really is. The reality is to get in good shape takes a lot of time. To build up great cardio too, it doesn't take weeks, months, it takes years. Same with building a great body as well. So I'm gonna wrap it up there. If you get a chance, you might wanna check out my podcast, The Rich Celenza Show, WTF are you talking about? I've been having a lot of nutritional specialists, experts, bodybuilders, trainers, everybody on there lately, which has been amazing how much I've learned myself. And these were all subjects that kept coming up. And that's why I'm doing videos on them. So I'm also on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you get a chance, try to subscribe, but please take an honest approach. Really pay attention to, don't get caught up with what everybody else is doing. I get a lot of times our friends back to racquetball, back to whatever they're doing. I don't care if they're surfing, whatever the case may be. It's great to enjoy those type of things with them, but you also have to figure out what works best for you. What's going to make you stronger in the long run. And a lot of times doing constant cardio, again, you got great wind and you feel good a lot of times, but a lot of times you may find yourself falling asleep 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. You're wondering why you're running out of juice. One of the reasons may be, again, too much cardio. So, all right, that's all I got for you, and stay healthy.